You've been told the biggest problem you need to solve is your freedom number, 2 million, 3 million, or 5 million. But after 20 years of following that plan, I realized I was solving the wrong problem entirely. I didn't need to save more money. I needed a different strategy. And that shift changed everything for me. We've been told it's a linear path. Get a job, work, save, and retire. I spent 20 years as an ER doctor telling myself the same thing. I was a single mom with kids in college and with a career that was slowly grinding me down. I thought I had one problem. I hadn't saved enough. But the real issue wasn't my portfolio balance. It was understanding how to use three levers: time, income, and spending to devise my own unique plan. Think about how we approach a complex medical condition like heart disease. We don't just treat it with one pill. You need multiple interventions working together: diet, exercise, medication. Each works differently, and together they improve the outcome. Most retirement planning focuses on just one thing. It reduces a complex human situation to one number and one solution, and that simply doesn't work for everyone. When I was at my own breaking point, burned out, not sleeping, facing unexpected expenses, I finally asked myself a different question. Not how do I save more money, but how do I take back control? And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. The first step is recognizing that you are the engine of your wealth generating machine. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's actually the strategy. Give yourself permission to work less. I know that sounds backwards. If you're trying to hit a retirement number, the instinct is to work more, earn more, save more, and get there faster. But let me show you why that math actually works against you and why staying in the game at reduced intensity beats burning out and quitting every single time. Let's say you have $1 million saved right now. If you retire today, the 4% rule gives you about $40,000 to live on. Now, what if instead of retiring, you just dialed back, reduce the intensity, and in doing so, maybe you could only contribute $10,000 to your portfolio. After 5 years, that portfolio is sitting around $2 million. 4% of $2 million, that's $80,000 a year. You've doubled your income in retirement just by staying in the game a little longer. Wait 10 years, that same $10,000 annual contribution, and you're over $3 million. Your wellness has a direct impact on your longevity and your wealth. That's not a philosophical idea, that's just how compounding works. I know reducing hours is not an option for everyone. Your job doesn't only provide your income, it provides your health insurance. And if you have a family or you have chronic medical conditions, you may not be able to leave your W-2 or reduce your hours. And I know this is a complex decision, and that's why I've put together a health insurance guide for early retirees. Click on the link in the description to get your copy. It goes over all your options and provides additional resources to help you. So how can you maintain your mental and physical health to stay in the game longer? Well, just like health conditions, most things in life have a spectrum. It's not all or nothing. And your burnout and exhaustion is also on a spectrum, from mild to intolerable. So the solution may vary depending on your personality, your physical and emotional health, and your inclination and skills. As I mentioned, 5 years ago, I was very burned out. I thought it was time to retire or find something else to do. I tried real estate and telemedicine, but I realized I was at my best in the ER. After all, I had done it for over 20 years. I enjoyed taking care of patients, but I hated the schedule and the bureaucracy. So I gradually switched to locum tenens, which is kind of like a temp staffing service for doctors. It's not as consistent as having a full-time job, but it gives me greater control over my schedule, and the changing environments help me prevent burnout. I may work less hours, but I can work more years. Knowing the underlying problem allowed me to design the right solution. It took some trial and error, but it was well worth it. So how do you find that solution for you? Well, keep an open mind, be curious, and ask others. Could you move to a 4-day week or take a sabbatical? It depends on your situation. Just don't resign yourself to a job or a schedule that's defeating you. You might think you can't slow down because everything is riding on your shoulders, but that's exactly why you need to. Because without you, the plan doesn't work. Now, if you're burned out and you have a 401k, there may be a little-known IRS provision that allows you to access those funds penalty-free before age 59 and a half. It's called the Rule of 55, and I break down exactly how it works in this video right here. But staying in the game longer is only part of the equation. There's a second lever that most people never consider, and it has a surprisingly large impact on your ability to retire early, and that is increasing your income. I'm not talking about buying real estate or launching a business from scratch. The goal here is much smaller and much more achievable than that. Just try new roles like advising, teaching, or consulting. either within your profession or outside of it. You don't have to learn new skills or invest a lot of money. Now, I know at first that may sound like a lot to do in addition to a job, but in reality, what I've found is that when people find new avenues for expression, they feel energized. Those extra hours are not extra work. They are a path forward towards a better and more fulfilling life. For instance, alongside my ER shifts, I work with independent nurse practitioners as a supervisor and consultant. And then in my free time, I create content like this. It's definitely a lot of work, but I love it. And you don't have to be a doctor to try this. My sister is a vice principal at a high school, and she's retiring this year and is already in conversations about consulting work to supplement her pension. She has over 20 years of educational leadership expertise. That's valuable to districts, nonprofits, and curriculum companies. Engineers consult, teachers tutor or develop curriculum, and project managers advise startups. The pattern is the same. Use what you've already built in a form that gives you more control over your time and earn some money. The goal isn't to replace your salary. The goal is to supplement your income, and this gives you extra spending money and reduces the pressure on your portfolio. If we go back to that $2 million portfolio, we set at a 4% withdrawal rate, you had $80,000 a year to spend. Now, let's say you add $1,000 a month in supplemental income. That's $12,000 a year. You've just gone from $80,000 to $92,000 in annual spending without touching more of your portfolio. Creating a stream of income from an activity that utilizes your skills or expresses your passion has double the impact. It preserves your identity and gives you greater flexibility. If this is reframing how you think about retirement, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps this video reach more people who need it. Now, we've discussed increasing time and money, but there's a third lever that's completely within your control right now, today, and most people overlook it. The entire purpose of earning and saving is to pay for your living expenses during retirement. So we should not just be focusing on how much we save, but rather how much we spend, because that's the driving force. If your lifestyle costs $400,000 a year, your income and later your portfolio has to carry that weight. But if you intentionally eliminate debt and reduce spending on housing, cars, and lifestyle inflation, your required income drops dramatically. Cutting your expenses in half is like getting a 50% raise, and that extra money can go to savings, investments, or a well-deserved vacation. Your income may not be something you can change right away, but your expenses are most likely under your control. And just like in the prior examples where the extra income decreased your portfolio withdrawals, lower expenses have the same effect. If you need less, you withdraw less, and that money lasts longer. There's also something else this lever does that the other two don't. When you intentionally reduce your spending before retirement, you're not just building a bigger cushion, you're practicing the lifestyle. By the time you actually leave your job, you already know what it feels like to live well on less. There's no shock adjustment, you've already run the experiment. Now, if you're under 65 and not eligible for Medicare, healthcare costs place a significant burden on your retirement plan. So that's why I've put together the Healthcare Insurance Guide for Early Retirees. It goes over all your options and provides excellent resources to help you find the right solution. Click on the link in the description below to get your copy. So now you understand something that most professionals working towards retirement don't. You've learned about the 3 levers that can redesign your path to retirement: time, income, and spending. Retirement planning can be creative. Don't just chase a number. Think outside the box. Model multiple scenarios: full retirement, 50% schedule, consulting plus portfolio draws. Compare cash flow and taxes. And most importantly, lower your required income by reducing expenses. Now, there's one thing I haven't addressed. Even a great plan that uses all of these levers has hidden vulnerability that almost nobody talks about. It can wipe out a portfolio that looks perfectly solid on paper. I break down exactly what that risk is and what to do about it in this next video here. So make sure to watch that next.